Welcome back. It's episode number 216 of Tommy Maroon Sports Show right here on WCTV. We like to have fun and talk sports and have a blast. And why not talk about the Cleveland Cavaliers? Because, well, the Cavs are doing pretty well so far. Look at them right there. Those folks are really good at basketball. I mean, they do play in the NBA after all. Some team stats heading into the first 7 games of the season. My goodness, 7 games already been played this season. 107 points per game, 44.9% field goal percentage, 32.33 point field goal percentage. A free throw percentage is 78.2, 45.4 rebounds per game. 24 assists per game, 7.6 steals per game, and a grand total of 6 blocks per game. Of course, let's look at the series recaps brought to you by the Cavs, of course, who are very good at what they do, as we keep on mentioning out here. We're going to go through 4 games that the Cavs played. First, the Cavs against the Knicks. First 2 are actually Cavs against the Knicks. First one was when the Cavs hosted the Knicks and lost 109-91. Donovan Mitchell, 26 points. Evan Mobley, 12 rebounds. Isaac Okoro, 11.7 rebounds. Meanwhile, Jalen Brunson and Julius Randle had 19 points each, and Emmanuel quickly 18 points. Cavs were barely winning the game, but had one more assist than the New York Knicks. And then the Cavs at the Knicks the next day ended up being a good old Cavalier victory, 95-89. Donovan Mitchell, who else? 30.6 rebounds. Karis LeVert, 19.6 rebounds. Jalen Brunson, 24 points for the Knicks. Emmanuel quickly, 18.6 rebounds. Neither team was winning by double digits in the game. And the Cavs had 5 total blocks, which was 1 down of their season average so far. And then it was Cavs at the Pacers for the in-season tournament. Of course, the in-season tournament going on. That's been kind of confusing, but whatever, I guess. Cavs lost in the first game of the in-season tournament, 121-116. Mitchell, 38 points, 9 assists. Darius Garland and Evan Mobley, 14 points each. Meanwhile, Miles Turner, 27 points, 9 rebounds, and Bruce Brown had 19 points. Cavs were up by 4 in the fourth quarter, too, by the way, so there was that. It was just that the floor was a complete eyesore. It was so bright because that's how the in-season tournament floors look like. The courts are just so neon bright that you wonder, why do they do that? And that, my friends, is a good question. And then Cavs against the Warriors, this game right here, and what was a dandy of a game. Because the Cavs won, of course. 115-104, Donovan Mitchell. Mr. Mitchell, 31 points, 7 assists. Darius Garland, 24 points, 7 assists. Evan Mobley, 16 rebounds and 13 points. Meanwhile, Steph Curry did Steph Curry things with 28 points and 7 threes. My goodness. While Draymond Green had 18 points and Klay Thompson with 15. And the Warriors were winning after the first quarter, as you could tell right there. But the Cavs ended up with 10 more rebounds and resulted in a Cleveland Cavalier win, thankfully. Let's look at the NBA standings. I know it's way too early in the season, but it's always fun to look at it. And the in-season tournament, which is also going on right now. But mainly the Cavs are 3-4 right now, 2.5 out of Boston and Philadelphia for the lead in the, Eastern Conference. Best team in the Western Conference and in the entire league is, of course, those Denver Nuggets. They're so good at what they do. They're the reigning champions, as you know by now. So we'll see what happens out there. Next is Tommy's Picks. Why not look at the recap of that because we can. First things first, the high school football players, and now you can actually see them. They're not all scrunched together. First Division I, Region 1 quarterfinals. St. Ed's beat Glen Oak 35-0. McKinley and St. Ignatius Cinderella run with a 28-24 win over the Wildcats. Medina beat Wadsworth 22-19 at Art Wright Stadium. Meanwhile, Cleveland Heights beat Berea Mid-Park 35-0 in a shutout out in Cleveland Heights. And then in Division II, Region 5, Archbishop Hoban beat down on Barberton 41-7. Riverside beat Twinsburg, so much for a Twinsburg run, 42-30. And so much for a Harding run because the Hudson Explorers won 24-21. Walsh Jesuit beat Austintown Fitch in a blowout, 58-21. And then the good old Division II Region 6. It was an Avon win, 49-7 over Brecksville Broadview Heights. They did not pitch a shutout, the defense, for the first time in a few weeks. Homestead Falls beat Sylvania Southview 35-28. Good guys, after a rough first half, finally picked it up in the second half and just went all out. Just shutting out North Ridgeville 21-0 in the second half in round to a 28-7 round. And then you had Anthony Wayne, who we will play next, because they trounced Avon Lake 59-14. Division II Region 7, first game at Paul Brown Tiger Stadium. 50-7, Washington beat Westerville South. Meanwhile, Lake beat Big Walnut 21-20 in a close game. Green just beat Hoover 31-7. And Canal Winchester beat Watkins Memorial in a low-scoring affair. My goodness, 7-3. Then Division III Region 9. Ursuline almost lost to Canfield, but they did not. They ultimately won 16-13. VASJ beat the Bombers of Kenston. The Kenston Bombers lose their second game of the season. Their first one was to the Lake Catholic Cougars. 43-14 was the score for VASJ. Aurora edges out a win against Gilmore Academy 30-27, while Chardon takes down Geneva 28-14. In Division III Region 10, it was another TCC win. They gave up 26 points to Defiance, though, but they did score 47, and that was enough for a comfy win. Mansfield beat Rocky River 55-21. Tiffin Columbian beat Ontario 55-35. How about this? Norton dealt with their first loss of the season and only loss of the season, coming in the second round to mighty Buckeye. Who would have thunk it? Buckeye, after struggling in the second half of the season, picked it up and upset the Norton Panthers. Division 4, Region 13, you have Cannon South beating Bookdale 27-26. West Branch took down Streetsboro 31-28. How about Struthers? They beat Poland Seminary 14-9. And Lake Catholic beat McKinley by a score of 35-21. And then in Division 4, Region 14, it was, who do you call them? Perkins being St. Mary's Memorial 28-21. West Holmes being Galleon 22-19. Shelby beat Van Wert in a 71-41 game. And Glenville routs Napoleon by a score of 44-7. Now, time about Division III football, because as we all know, Division III football is infinitely better than regular college football. And the NFL. Mount Union, to my disappointment, won 49-14. They did without any issues against John Carroll. And Wisconsin Lacrosse beat Wisconsin River Falls on the last second. I believe it was a blocked field goal that gave them the win. Wheaton edges out Washington 36-35. Wabash takes down Hiram without any issues, 52-13. Hobart beat RPI by a score of 31-21. Wittenberg won over Ohio Wesleyan by a final score of 36-28, I should say. And then you also have Denison beating Kenyon by a score of 38-15. Hopi Trine 38-28. And of course, the good guys, the Brown and Gold Brigade, won, thank God, on a Joe Evans kick towards the end of the game. 24-21 over Heidelberg. T.J. Gibbons sealed the deal with an interception. Ohio Northern trounces Otterbein 49-6. Mount St. Joe's beats Bluffton 49-27. How about Rose-Hulman and Defiance? My goodness, 78-54. While Hanover beats up on Anderson 69-zip. Case beat Allegheny 42-14. Wisconsin Stout beat Wisconsin Eau Claire 28-13. Carroll beat Milliken by a score of 41-0. Meanwhile, Lyon beat Luther 28-21. Now time for the National Football League. On Thursday night, the Steelers magically found a way to win again, to everybody's chagrin, 20-16. And the Chiefs beat Free Willy. How about that? Sluggish game. Tyreek Hill fumbled and resulted in a pickup by the Chiefs. And then a lateral back right to a Chiefs player conveniently behind him, who just ran it down the right side for a touchdown, proved to be the difference maker, 21-14. And Josh Dobbs leading the Vikings to a 31-28 win over the Falcons. And the Ravens beat up on the Seahawks 37-3. How about those Cleveland Browns? 5-3 on the season, shutting out the Cardinals 27-0. I played Madden 2003 the day prior. It said it would be a 38-7 win if I'm not mistaken. Let me check where it is. I can't find it now. There it is. Yeah, 38-7. The Browns won the game in Madden 2003. And of course, Jim Schwartz, who is a genius. My nickname for Jim Schwartz is none other than Jimmy Neutron. Why? Because he's a genius. Yes, he is a genius. How about that? 27-0. First shutout in 16 years for the good old Cleveland Browns. While the Packers beat the Rams 20-3. And C.J. Stroud really cementing his case for Offensive Rookie of the Year. He leads the Texans to a dramatic come-from-behind 39-37 win in a scoregami game. How about that? And the Commies beat up on the Patriots 2017. Bill Belichick looks completely lost out there. And the Saints, my lock of the week, took down the Sea Bears, no issue, 24-17. Colts beat the Panthers 27-13. Bryce Young does not look like he has it. Raiders easily dismantled the Giants 30-6. Eagles beat the Cowboys 28-23. Then Sunday night, the Bengals beat the overrated fraudulent Bills 24-18. Meanwhile, the Chargers beat the Jets 27-6. So looking at the high school football predictions in the playoffs, I went 25-7 this week. 26 points, which means I'm 79-17 with 82 points. I mean, it definitely helps when the playoffs are kind of predictable, but never know what can happen, folks. D3, I went 7-10. Yikes. I'm now 110-59 with 119 points. The NFL, I went 11-3. How about that? I'm now 81-57 on the season with the 90 points in the National Football League. Now time for Tommy's Picks, featuring the high school regional semifinals in D3 right there. Yes, sir. You got a high school to the left, D3 to the right. Division 1, Region 1, St. Ed's will beat McKinley because St. Ed should easily win that region. And then you have Cleveland Heights against Medina. Ooh, boy, it was a good game earlier this season when the two schools squared off against each other. Let me pull it up. It was a, 62-52 win for Cleveland Heights, I beg your pardon, over Medina. But you know what? They're fresh off a big win. They're fresh off a big win over the always rough and tough, who do you call them, Wadsworth Grizzlies. So you never know what can happen. I got a good feeling that they might pull off another win. And they're my upset of the week, folks. So there is that. We'll see what happens. But yeah, that's my lock of the week. Hoping will be Riverside Division 2 Region 5. And then that was my upset, of course, the Medina over Cleveland Heights. My lock of the week is going to be Walsh Jesuit over Hudson. Walsh has been rolling through the playoffs with a huge win over Austin Town Fitch. I think they should easily dismantle Hudson, who has struggled to some low schools out there, too. Division 2, Region 6. Avon against Olmsted Falls. I think that will easily be an Avon win. Those two schools did face off against each other earlier in the season. And, of course, Avon won that game by a score 52-10 out in Avon. So I think they're going to do it again. Anthony Wayne and Highland. All right, for the third time in the last 7 years and for the third time since 2017, the good guys will be playing the Anthony Wayne Generals in the playoffs, and it's the first time ever it's for the regional semifinals, as the past two were for regional quarterfinals. This time it's at a neutral site rather than the blessing of our house. It's going to be a good game, I'll tell you that. It should be a very good game. Winner of that game likely has a showdown with Avon, and you know what? It's going to be tough. I tell you one thing, Drew Pastor, who is a College of Worcester professor, he always has his fantastic 50 rankings, and he had Anthony Wayne as the 35th best team in the state. We're the 38th best team in the state, 35th compared to 38 once again. This is only the second time this season we have been underdogs, and we are only 1 point underdogs to Anthony Wayne. Have a 48% chance to win. I'm going with that 48%. Give me the Hornets. Please do so, guys. Come on, fellas. This is the biggest game of the season. We cannot let the crowd down out in Sandusky. It's at Cedar Point Stadium out in Sandusky, so it's quite a long drive. I don't know if I'm going. Depends on what's going on with my family and stuff, what we're going to do for that Friday night. Division 2, Region 7. Washington will beat Lake. That won't be a contest. But you know what will be a contest? Canal Winchester and Green. I think the Bulldogs will go down to a neutral site rather, not Columbus, and beat Canal Winchester. Division 3, Region 9, Ursuline against VASJ. I think VASJ will lose to Ursuline, but it'll be a close game nonetheless. Aurora playing at a neutral site against Chardon. I think the Hilltoppers will win. And then you have Division 3, Region 10. TCC will easily beat Manfield. And don't sleep on Buckeye. They did good. But my thing is, Tiffin Columbian's going to win. And then you have Division 4, Region 13, Kansas South against West Branch, picking Kansas South. And Lake Catholic should easily beat Struthers, in my opinion. At least that's what I think. It will be a good game, in my opinion. Division 4, Region 14, West Holmes, I think, will upset Perkins. And then, of course, after that will be, they will await the winner of Glenville Shelby. I am picking Glenville to win that game. The Tarblooders are going to be a good one. And then you have D3 football, Mountain Union against Baldwin Wallace. I do not want to think about that game. We're probably going to get destroyed. And yeah, I just started to think what the final score of that game is going to be. Bears are going to blow us out, sadly. Wisconsin Lacrosse will beat Stevens Point. Winfield's my lock of the week against Whitworth. Concordia, my upset over Aurora. Here's a good game. Ithaca against Cortland. 14 against 15, picking Ithaca. Catholic University against Juniata College, picking the Juniata College Eagles. And I think Kenyon will beat the Yeomen of Oberlin. Westminster against Geneva, picking the Titans of Westminster. Wittenberg will beat Worcester. Kalamazoo over Trine. Heidelberg should be capital, but that should be a fun game nonetheless. MSJ will beat Rose-Hulman, but that also should be a good game. Wilmington against ONU, picking the Polar Bears. Platteville against Stout, picking Platteville. Mary Hardin Baylor playing Howard Payne. I'm picking Mary Hardin Baylor. And Colby against Bowdoin, picking Colby. And Carnegie Mellon against Case, picking the Spartans. Now time for the NFL. That's right. Thursday night game. What do we do to deserve this Sea Bears Panthers? What do we do to deserve any of these primetime games international games. Because the Panthers should beat the Sea Bears. But you know what that is, folks? You know what that is? It's going to be a lot of fun. And the reason being is pretty obvious. It is because of the beloved Tank Bowl. Yes, sir, Tank Bowl. If I could pull up the theme song. And unfortunately, I cannot. It's an advertisement. So pretend that there's the NBA and NBC theme. And speaking of Tank Bowl in Germany. Yes, Tank Bowl in Germany. My God. Wowee, that's going to be awesome. Not really. Colts will beat the Patriots. And then enough of the Tank Bowl because we got a good game on our hands. The Cleveland Browns will upset the Baltimore Ravens. Yes, I think that the Browns will upset the Ravens, and it should be a good game. Bengals against Texans, picking the Bengals, but I wouldn't be surprised if those Texans win. C.J. Stroud's looking really good this season. Jaguars against a sliding 49ers squad. They've lost 3 straight now. Make it 4 straight when Trevor Lawrence and Co. and Doug Peterson and Travis Etienne and the rest of the team pick up the win. Vikings against the Saints, picking the Vikings. Steelers will probably magically find a way to win the fourth quarter against the Packers. Titans against the Buccaneers, picking the Titans. Falcons against the Cardinals. God, I can't believe that's also a game. And it's going to be a lock of the week for the Falcons, even though the Falcons are really pathetic. Chargers hosting the Lions. I think the Lions should win and go to 7-2 because the scriptwriters want Browns Lions Super Bowl. It would be the end of the world, but I would definitely be happy with it. Cowboys against the Giants, picking the Cowboys. Seahawks against the Commies, picking the Seahawks. And then Sunday night, why is it Raiders-Jets? Good question. But the Jets will win. And then Bills against the Magic School Buses. Last episode, picking the Buffalo Bills. The Bills need to snap out their funk out here because they're just not looking good at all. My goodness. Well, folks, we're done with all my picks. How about that, ladies and gentlemen? 216 episodes down. I don't know how many more to go. Hopefully there's a lot more to go. Pray to the good Lord there's a lot more to go. And, of course, next week, I repeat, next week is going to be a lot of fun. Why is it going to be a lot of fun? Because we're going to talk about more Tommy's picks, where it will be the regional finals. The Cavaliers in D3 playoffs will be underway. How about that? We've been waiting all season for it. The Jackets won't be in it, but hopefully the Hornets will still be alive in the playoff race. They will hopefully be taking on Avon next week, or hopefully hopefully Olmsted Falls. Please, dear Lord, let us win. But I don't know if that's going to happen. Anthony Wayne's pretty tough. As you heard Drew Pastor say it best, it's a toss-up. I'm Tommy Maroon. Thank you for watching, and we will see you next week.
You are watching WCTV, Wadsworth Community Television.